welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you guys how to make this ginormous fidget trade board. For me, it's my paper squishy trading board because I don't have that many fidgets, but I definitely have a lot of paper squishies. This board is huge and it's actually not that hard to make. These paper squishy buttons add a lot of detail and it's so satisfying to squish. This is definitely such a fun craft to make if you're bored and you want to fidget trade with your friends. So let's get started on making this fidget trade board. The materials you'll be needing is paper, tape, any type of cardboard or paperboard. I'm going to be using the cereal box, scissors, a glue stick, a pencil, some markers, anything to stuff your squishies with, and a ruler. Alright guys, so the very first step we're going to do is actually cut out these flaps from the cereal box because this is just extra and we don't really need it, so we're just going to throw this away. I would really recommend using a cereal box for the cardboard because it's going to make it really easy to open up and just make the fidget board because all of the pieces are already attached and all of this just goes in the trash. Once those extra pieces are off, I'm actually going to find where there's a little flap right here and try to open it up. It shouldn't be that hard and try to be careful so it doesn't rip open too much. I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom of the box, just kind of opening up those tabs so we can open up the box all the way just like this. And we should have a big piece of paperboard like that. So I actually got a little rip right here, so all I'm going to do is place a piece of tape because I am going to need that edge. We're going to need the board to be as big as possible, so that should be good enough. Now I'm going to go along at these pieces and just cut these top flaps of the box out because we're not going to need these. Again, these are going to go in the trash. And here's where I taped my little mistake, so hopefully it should be good. Lastly, we have this rough edge right here, so I'm just gonna cut along this line to get rid of this extra piece so the whole board has some nice and clean edges. And if you have some rough edges like this, I would just recommend to cut it down as much as you can because again, we want to save as much of the board as possible. Now that the paperboard is laying flat like this and it's clean around the edges, I actually had to rip some off because it was really bumpy right here, but we're going to cover it up anyways, so it doesn't really matter. It's now time to cover it with some paper. We are going to need quite a bit of sheets of paper because this is a pretty large box. I want to say like 3 or 4 sheets. We're also going to need our glue stick for this part, so my plan I think is to place my first piece of paper right here in the middle, and then some extra pieces of paper are gonna go along these edges to kind of wrap everything together. So I'm just starting off by placing some glue right along this first side of the paper. Now I'm going to lift my paper and then continue placing some more glue. I'm actually going to put it on the paperboard this time because I don't want to fold over and make a crease right here. So just kind of eyeball next section. Now I'm going to fold it over again, flattening everything out. And now this last part right here. And flatten it out one more time, just like that. Now to get that clean edge right here, I'm going to flip over my board completely like this, and then I'm going to fold over that piece of paper and apply some more glue so it can stick down. Now I'm going to take another piece of paper and just continue covering the whole piece of paperboard. This time we're not going to do any folding over because it's just going to go right here in the middle. Okay, so this is how it's looking like so far, looking very smooth. Now I'm going to take my third piece of paper and just place it right along here, and this is going to be our last piece for this center part. Just going to kind of measure out, leaving enough to fold over so that edge is hidden about right here. And I'm going to fold it to make sure that line is straight. This extra piece is going to be very useful because remember guys, we still need to cover all of these edges on the top and bottom. Now I'm just repeating the same process, putting some glue down, then placing that down, lining everything up. This last bit of glue right here. And with this last bit of paper, again, we're just going to fold it over to get that clean edge. First, I'm going to make that fold right here and glue it down. Last but not least, we're going to cut out some thin strips like this and finish off all of the edges that are left to cover. And I'm not going to be worrying about how the back of our fidget board looks because we're not going to be turning it around anyway, so I'm just going to leave it like it is. So we're just going to focus on how the top looks. Here's how our fidget board is turning out. Now I'm gonna color it, and you could technically leave this white if this is your vibe. I think I definitely want my base to be some kind of light pink. Okay, I think I'm gonna end up going with this pink shade. It is RV330 Strawberry Pink by Ohuhu. If you want, you could also paint this because this is a pretty large area. I'm just making sure my marker is extra juicy so it doesn't run out halfway. And I do think painting would be smarter, but the only reason why I didn't do it is because it does take a while to dry. This whole thing was already taking long enough, so coloring it was actually a little faster. Now that the trading board is all colored, it's time to make the paper squishy buttons that are gonna go on both sides. So we're just gonna move this for now, and now just focus on the buttons. So to start off, we're gonna need a brand new piece of paper, a ruler, and a pencil. So I'm gonna go to the bottom side of the piece of paper and kind of measure out where the middle is and start making a mark right here at the end of the ruler and at the 3-inch mark. Now I'm gonna line up the ruler and make a straight line all the way across. Now moving the ruler over and doing the exact same thing on the other side where we put the first mark and draw that straight line up. Now down here we're gonna measure out 1 inch, so I'm gonna make a mark right here at the 1 and another mark right here on the other side, 1 inch, and then connect it. Now to this side I'm gonna measure out another 1 inch and the same thing right on the other side. Now for the width of the button we're gonna measure out 3 inches, and I'm starting at 1, so I'm just gonna go up to 4. Same thing on the other side. I'm just gonna draw a straight line across to connect those 2 points where we ended off the 3 inches, and we should have 3 flaps right here and then a big square. Now, this is gonna be another side of the squishy, so we're gonna measure out 1 inch again, both sides, and draw a straight line across. Now we have 4 flaps. The last side of the squishy is gonna be the back side, so we're gonna measure out another square right here, and this one again is gonna be 3 inches on both sides, and connect it to make that last and final side of our squishy. And now we have to repeat that same pattern 5 more times. I think the easiest way to do this part is just placing the piece of paper on top and kind of tracing out the lines you can see through it, and still using the ruler so you get those straight lines. Tracing these out actually saved me so much time, and I put little paper clips on the top and bottom of the pages just to make sure the paper wouldn't slide around too much, so that all the buttons would turn out the exact same size. Okay, this is a lot of templates. Now that we have everything drawn out, it's time to design the buttons. And remember guys, we're gonna need 2 X's, 2 check marks, and 2 add buttons. And I don't care about these being too perfect. I'm just starting off with the X number 1. I'm gonna use my tracing method again because it just makes it easier. Looking back, I should have probably just used my ruler, but I was just too lazy to. I messed up a couple of times because they just were turning out weird, but I think at the end I fixed them up and they didn't look too bad. Now for the colors, I picked blue for the plus sign, green for the check mark, and red for the X, and then a light yellow for all the base colors. I think the yellow definitely helped the other colors pop more, and I really liked it. Now that we have all of the templates finally colored, guys, this was such a long process, but I finally got it done. I'm gonna take my clear tape and laminate every single one. This is gonna take a while, so I'll see y'all when I finish. Alright guys, so we finally finished laminating every single piece of paper. As you guys can see, it's all covered with tape. Now we're just gonna cut everything out, and this process is getting pretty repetitive because we have to sketch everything 6 times, color everything 6 times, and laminate everything 6 times, and now we're cutting everything 6 times. The assembling shouldn't be too hard because all we have to do is fold a piece of paper, tape everything up, and then stuff it. And these flaps are gonna make it even easier for everything to just assemble nicely. When you're cutting, make sure to be careful and just cut along the lines so we get those nice clean edges. I know I was already tired doing this and I was just trying to go fast. Okay, now that all the templates are finally cut out, we're going to start assembling the squishies. So I'm just gonna start by folding all of the tabs down just like this, and I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make one of them, and then you basically just repeat the same step for the rest of the buttons. I'm just taking a little piece right here and placing it right along the tab, the little excess hanging out so we can fold it over to the other side, and we have one side complete. Now for these longer sides, I like to get longer pieces of tape just so it's easier to fold over and we don't have to cut as many pieces out, and then just fold it over. Remember guys, we're gonna have to stuff these, so leave a little opening to put in the filling. I'm just gonna use some polyfill. And finally, I'm just gonna shut it closed, placing the piece of tape right here at the edge again and folding it over. First button done. Now we need to do the rest of them and then attach them onto our fidget trading board. Okay, we're bringing back the board and I'm just gonna put all the buttons on top real quick, and then let's start on this side first. Okay, so I'm taking a piece of tape like this and just rolling it up to make it like double-sided. And I'm gonna place the piece of tape right here on the back of the button and then place it right here where I want it to be, and then just press it down a little bit. I'm gonna roll up another piece of tape, place it on the back, and stick it down. Now for the X, I'm gonna roll it and place it right here. And try to make them equally spaced too, so they don't look that far apart. And then do the exact same thing on this side. Alright guys, our fidget board is pretty much complete. I'm just going to add one final detail. I'm going to add a black line right here in the middle to kind of differentiate the two sides a little more. Maybe with the ruler it can be a little easier. This part is optional and I feel like this really helps separate the two sides, so I think it looked good. Alright guys, so here's the final fidget trade board all complete. It barely fits on frame because it's so big, but I think it honestly turned out like the perfect size. These spaces are big enough to put quite a bit of things, and the buttons are actually so satisfying to press. And this is built pretty sturdy since it's paperboard, and then the buttons are pretty thick, so this should last you a long time and should be really fun to play with. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Make sure to comment and let me know if you tried to make this fidget board at home. This was definitely so fun and satisfying to make. It took me so much time though, because there were so many steps, like cutting out this piece of paperboard, laying it out, covering everything, and then making each individual button. But I think it was so worth it because this is gonna make fidget trading way easier and more fun. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!